This episode of We Like Shooting Double Tap is brought to you by Second Call Defense, the Sonoran Desert Institute, Bowers Group, Hackett Equipment, and the Patriot Patch Company.
Welcome to We Like Shooting Double Tap, episode 156, where we answer your questions, ask a few of our own, and touch base on gun industry news. Our panel tonight is the owner of River's Edge Tactical, Jeremy Posderick. We've got the owner of Grey Wolf Firearms, the Machine Gun Moses, Aaron Krieger, our very own Nick Lynch. My name is Sean Herron. Tony Simon is our guest, and I want to welcome you all to the show. Why?
Who did that?
You did.
Who did that?
You did.
No.
Yeah, you did.
You can tell I didn't do it. Look at my face.
Yeah, you don't look at all like a guy who would do that. Are you feeling all right? Because that, like, I think I saw your lips flap like the drunk from The Simpsons.
Barney.
Yeah, Barney. Tony, what's up, man?
Hello, everybody. Hey, what's up, guys? I miss being on the show. Miss you effers.
We missed you too, man.
Yeah,
I miss you more.
Mm-hmm.
Nick,
Whatever.
Nick misses you
burped.
the most.
The room probably smells like death now because you burped.
Jeez
The
whiz.
worst is when you wear a mask and you burp in it. That's the worst.
I wouldn't know. I haven't worn a mask.
You
I
should.
wear a mask every day. It's hilarious. Just walking into the store feeling like you're going to stick the place up.
Right? What are you smoking there, Tony?
Got me a Regis. Yeah, a Regius. Where's the hole?
I don't know. I don't know what
That's
I don't know. It's a decent cigar. I just tried it out. It's something new I'm working on. Bad Habits Kevin Dixie brought out.
I was just going to say, I saw Kevin smoking a lot of cigars lately. Now, Tony. All right. That's cool.
I was actually, we stayed together for a couple of days in Vegas doing SHOT Show. And it was one of the things, him and Argo J. Shout out to Argo. Good thing you're out of the hospital now, man. The surgery worked out really well.
Also one of my good friends.
Yes.
Yep. And I'm glad the transition is working well, and I can't wait to see you again.
He's going to be
Argus.
He's going to be Argo Joy now.
Dude, he told me to go F myself so many times when I typed that in on his IG account. But, yeah, those guys have their own cigars. So I was like, hey, I've never really smoked a cigar. I have no idea what I'm doing. I tried it back in the 90s. They were like, well, come on out. Let's smoke some. Let me tell you how to do this and the differences. So it's been pretty cool. I do 1 or 2 a week. I go to my local liquor store. It has a humidor room.
Nice.
And that's what we do. Oh, I'm missing bourbon. No, I'm not.
Oh, Woodford Reserve, too.
Yes,
cheers,
Woodford
because
Reserve.
I've got it, too. But I used a green cup because I was making fun of my plastic cups. So, yeah,
All right.
it's invisible. So, cheers, Tony.
Cheers, Sean.
Good to see you. We'll get into the show. We'll talk about some stuff kind of as we go. But have you been on this show, Double Tap?
I don't know if I've been on Double Tap.
It's different. We just do what we want on this show. It's pretty
do what I
calm.
want.
Yeah, it's pretty
All
calm.
right, hold on. Before we go nuts, then, can I talk about the Patreon that I'm doing?
No, not yet. We're going to do it because
Okay,
I
cool.
have a whole segment for it.
Oh, all right.
You know how I do. All right, so before we get into it, I do want to talk about Second Call Defense. Like, holy shit, it is a crazy time in our country. The pandemic, now we've got the post-COVID riots of 2020. It is like people are buying guns all the time. And if you just bought a gun, if you're like out there, like riots are everywhere, man. Like they're right down the street from you probably. Like Second Call Defense, like if you get put in a situation where you have to use your firearm for lawful self-defense, like it's going to be a tough time. And I will tell you this right now. I saw in Oklahoma, someone was being attacked by a rioter, used their firearm in self-defense. And the DA said, hey, we're not pursuing charges. It was clearly self-defense, but now they're going to riot because of that. And I'm like, dude, like at this point, you don't want to be stuck without a good attorney. You don't want to be stuck with a public defender or whatever it is that you can afford. So go check out Second Call Defense. Just take a look at what they offer. And if you have any questions, let us know. WeLikeShooting.com/SCD. And don't wait till it's too late because seriously, once that shell hits the ground, it's too late, and you'll be on your own there, and you don't want that, especially in these days.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Yes, Jeremy.
If I skull slot somebody during a riot, right?
Well,
And then
define
I
skull
immediately-
slapping.
A skull slot. Put a slot canoe I make their head into a canoe.
Oh, okay. So you shoot him in the head.
Say I waste some during a riot because he's attacking me or mine or whoever or whatever, right? And then I see somebody filming that, and then I immediately shoot that person and then go destroy the evidence. Would that be considered self-defense?
No.
Because they're trying to get me killed?
No.
Are you sure? Because it might start another riot.
No.
Like, morally, I'm correct.
No,
Maybe.
you're not.
I'm saving lives here.
I don't know.
Except you're
Well,
not.
one of the
but-
cool things about second call defense, right? Don't they have the ability to speak to a lawyer even if just because you're a member?
Yes, absolutely.
So all you new gun owners out there that has all those questions in the forum and you thought it was a good idea to ask the internet legal questions about use of force, use second call defense and actually speak to a lawyer.
Yeah, not just that. So we got Sean Maloney. He'll be joining us next week on Double Tap as well. And I think I'm going to try to bring him on like every other show or something just because it is kind of one of these crazy times and I want people to have the information they need. But anyway, WeLikeShooting.com/SCD. Get a free month and a free shirt just by signing up. And why is my phone ringing? I don't know. New phone. New phone. Who dis? This is our first segment. Oh, wow. Let me get rid of this comment here.
Yeah, it's been up there forever.
Sorry, man. I totally forgot. It's a segment called Wacky Weapons where we weigh the pros and cons of types of stuff. Aaron, what did you come up for? Or I'm sorry. Come up with tonight? What the am I saying?
Right now? We're going to be talking about the flying guillotine. Have you guys seen these things?
No, actually.
Yeah, wasn't this on Mythbusters?
There's a movie about it. It's called The Flying Guillotine Master, maybe. It's a kung fu movie. But the premise is it's this thing you throw. It lands on someone's head, and you pull it back, and it will cut their head off. But it's nicely set up so there's like a bag on the end, so you just can you can kick the head back.
Okay,
nice
yeah.
Sack.
I did see it on Mythbusters. It did not work.
Oh, was it? It didn't work.
Well,
Yeah, I think
it actually did work.
They had to make it really heavy, though, I think.
Yeah, it was not great.
But, I mean, that's just the way that they made it.
I mean, but the idea behind it is I think someone like Jeremy could use it because he was a cowboy at one point.
Yeah,
He
like
could
a
throw
lasso or something.
Yeah, but like anyone else, no.
Yeah,
it's a terrible idea.
It was really hard to throw, and I've got it on screen now. It was just kind of like, oh, wow, that's so big.
Yeah, well, that doesn't look like anything. Oh, look at.
Oh, cool. Bartender tips.
They also,
Oh, God.
in Aaron's link, they
My
talk,
weed out of reach. What do you want?
What was that?
I clicked a link. I don't know what happened. I blacked out.
in Aaron's link, it talks about how no one knows what it would have looked like. There are no drawings or anything or explanations of how it worked. So, I mean, what they built on Mythbusters, they were just kind of trying to create something that would do that job.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
It's like
possible that there could have been some design that actually did work. We just, have lost it to history.
True.
Aliens,
I mean,
right? Like the pyramids being built.
That's right.
So they did build like a meat neck and everything when they threw it on, and it did cut through it, if I remember correctly. It's been a while since I saw it, but I remember being like, okay, it's totally impractical, but yikes.
What was that? What's that dude in Mortal Kombat takes his hat off?
Yeah.
Was it
Odd Job.
Raiden?
No, kind of like Odd Job.
I'm pretty sure it was Odd Job.
Name on
Rating, yeah.
not Raiden.
No,
Raiden was the
one?
God of Thunder. He had like the triangle hat, like the rice field
okay.
hat on.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were talking about.
No, I forget his name.
It was Odd Job.
I'm literally going to Google hat thrower guy Mortal Kombat.
And it was whenever Kung Lao,
Yeah.
according to Mitch A. I'm pretty sure it was Odd Job, though, and it was because he was shorter than everyone, so when you played as him, punches would just go over your head.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the actor that played Odd Job in the Bond movie. You know that dude was an Olympic powerlifter, right?
He looked like one.
Yeah, he sure did. But yeah, the flying guillotine, totally impractical, but man, like if you could like land it on someone's head, oh God.
Right?
At least the one they did on Mythbusters, that it was insane.
If that was a real weapon, that would seriously be the equivalent of that double 1911. It's like, there are other easier ways to get to where you're going, right?
I mean, I think the way they did it was they would fool people and put like, you're a beekeeper now. Put this on your head. They're doing, like, themselves, and they're like, oh, yoink. Yeah, gotcha.
Psych, where's your head? Where's your head, bro?
It's like, I got your nose and your head.
Exactly. That's.
Yeah, but if we're talking about children, you don't need really anything sharp. You just pull it right off.
I don't think anyone was talking about children, Jeremy.
Yeah, wow.
Well, you said it got your nose. Like, that's something you do to children.
Oh, okay.
I do that.
You
to
had to
adults.
follow that. See, that was easy to follow.
Nick only does that to people at the grocery store.
Yeah,
exclusively.
only exclusively adults. I walk up and I say, "Can I check your ID?" And they show me their ID, and then I go, "I got your nose."
All right. So the pros of the flying guillotine would be pretty effective if you can land it. Horrifyingly gruesome.
Oh, yeah.
And very tidy because it captures the head in a basket and then just sits there self-contained for someone to pick up at their leisure.
Yeah,
It would certainly have a psychological effect. I mean, if somebody walked in the door right now and threw something over Sean's head and then it was just gone,
yeah,
dude, I would be pretty freaked out.
I would movie scream.
No, you probably wouldn't.
The Wilhelm scream?
Yeah.
You know the number of cable network TV shows you'd be on? It'd be History Channel, definitely. ID Channel, definitely. It's like you'd live forever on cable.
And the best
Just
part,
the reenactments. Almost Got Away with It. All of them. That'd be you.
Oh, man. Here's a Wilhelm scream compilation here.
I'm just laughing at the thought.
My favorite is still the guy from the Titanic.
That's the first one.
No, it's not.
This one is, yeah.
This is
1953. It was the first Wilhelm. It's so great. Hold up.
Oh,
That movie's them. I love that movie.
I forgot about them.
There it is. So
Jesus.
if you
Learn what a Wilhelm scream is, you will start picking that out of every movie.
Oh yeah,
it 100%. It's in every movie, and I hear it. So I pointed it out to Angel recently, and now every time she hears it, she just looks at me and shakes her head because now that's all she can think about.
You ruined it. You ruined it.
Here's one from Star Wars.
I heard it.
Yep, dude, it's in there. It's in like
Wow.
every Hollywood movie. It's like a thing that they do now. Started in
Well, it
1953.
was originally because there was no patent or not patent. There was no copyright on it, so it was just like free use for all these different. So yeah, it's like in every goddamn movie.
That's funny.
Let's see. Carolina said same with the Deus Irae song. What is that?
I don't know. Okay, so let's talk, while you're looking that up, I'm going to talk about the cons of this thing.
Okay, yeah,
It's a single-use item. I mean, it's not like you could just pack a ton of heads in there.
yeah.
no, but
that is true.
you could pull the head out.
So, when there's like going into a church, or if there's like a demon, or yes, this song is everywhere.
Yeah, it is. I agree. Okay.
So, what other cons? Obviously, you have to be pretty proficient in throwing objects in a placement. Let's see what else. You have to be good at cleaning, because once that head's in there, you want to pull it out, and you don't want to cut yourself in the process.
Plus, there's a lot of blood up there, so you'd have to worry about rust.
Oh yeah.
You know?
You want good metal, so you need
Yeah. Blood's really bad about rusting metal.
It's a lot, yeah.
Just ask my pocket knife.
Because
You
cut yourself to feel
You just
alive.
get some good dogs; they'll lick it clean.
You need to get pigs.
But then you're going to get new dogs all the time because they're always going to be cutting their tongues, and then they won't be able to eat because their mouths will be all messed up.
Get chickens. Chickens will do it.
No, pigs.
Because pigs are going to cut their heads off in there. Because pigs are
But then you got bacon.
Yeah,
Win-win.
exactly. Win.
But then who's going to clean it?
And if the dog kills itself, you got Chinese food.
Incredibly difficult to throw. Incredibly difficult to throw.
Yeah. What else is there?
Why is yours bigger than mine?
Always. Get used to it.
It's just long and skinny.
That's fine. Someone said Did Tony get married? His last name looks different. Yes, his last name
ceremony
is diversityshoot.com. Oh, man. Okay. Yeah. So anyway, flying guillotine, kind of wacky, kind of wild, but kind of cool too.
But another bonus is if you're on your bike and the wheel goes flat, you just put the guillotine right there and you can roll on it.
Until one of those blades pops off and hits you straight in the hole.
Or the person behind you, then you're all right.
Oh. Better have second call defense.
Right. But the thing is, it's got to go over the head. It can't hit somebody in the head. Like if you throw it at somebody that hits them in the side of the head, they're just going to be like, ow.
Yeah, they'll be like,
why?
oh.
It's got to actually go over the top of the head and come straight down.
That's going to bruise you.
What is that? What were you doing?
Why? Why would you do that?
Why?
It's what my wife says to me. Why are you the way that you are?
That's what we say to everybody.
Yeah, that's what my wife says to me too. But I'm like, listen, I don't know, but you married me. You really have to ask yourself a lot of questions.
Exactly. All right. I'm going to move on and talk about Hackett Equipment. Brand new sponsor to the show, and they actually make some pretty cool stuff. The Big Bertha, the Baby Bertha, the Big Bertha, Little Bertha, Baby Bertha are their 3 gun bags. Tony, are you familiar with them at all?
Mm-hmm. Actually, you sent me a belt that says largest pound-for-pound firearms instructor in America and diversityshoot.com on the other side.
Nice. Yeah.
Wait.
Hey, Jinx, poke, you owe me Coke.
Not like front and back. The other side of the belt. All that fit.
Understand, yes, a hashtag this big fit on my belt.
Plus, you had room for sponsors.
Getting paid is getting paid.
Exactly.
You know it.
But glasses, so I've been using the rifle bag, and it's freaking awesome. I actually really like it. It's a double rifle bag. It's similar to some other ones that I have, but the one that I got was in gray and just looks sick.
Like it needs help?
Super awesome. No, it looks
Because when people look gray, they're not really looking healthy.
It looks.
Is it?
Oh, okay.
So
Whoa,
you copied me?
I like that.
Yeah, I did. Well, however, I sent my order hours before I even asked you guys what you wanted.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Did you order my holster yet?
What holster?
I sent you an email.
You said something about something else the other day, and I was like, I don't know what you're talking about.
It was the holster.
No, I didn't. I don't even know what you're talking about, as I said last time. But yeah, so Hackett Equipment, glasses, belts, rifle bag. We've got the covert backpacks. We've got the plate carriers. Yeah, just like all kinds of stuff. Go check them out at HackettEquipment.com. Coupon code is going to be WLS's Life. And because we always give our listeners more than anyone else will, no matter what, you get 21% off. Not 20, nice. 21%. So go check that out, HackettEquipment.com.
Wow.
It's time for some Dear WLS.
Burn when you pee? Unsure about your relationship? Why can't you use 45 and a 9mm? Get your questions answered on hashtag DearWLS. Visit WeLikeShooting.com/DearWLS to submit your question.
This is the time on the show when we answer questions.
Answer questions.
Ian C. says, if Yin's guys... Why? If Yin's guys were put into a real-life battle royale style game, what would your loadouts be and who would die first? Hashtag WLS's Life, hashtags are dumb, hashtag Aaron dies first. Aaron, what would your loadout be and who would die first?
All right. Any weapons? Anything I wanted?
Does it have to be stuff we own?
Let's make it stuff that we own just to be...
Oh, well, I'm screwed.
Why?
I would just be a standard AR and a pistol, I guess. Some smoke grenades, and a bunch of tannerite filled cans with nails stuck inside of it. Maybe a pipe bomb or two. Stuff I can make, not stuff that I own.
ATF, I just want you to know that this is stuff that he owns. Pipe bomb.
This is stuff I can make. Stuff
that you can make. That's fair.
Yeah, I mean, some napalm. Just the stuff we have laying around the house here that you can make on your own. And who would die first, Savage?
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. Let's see. For me, I would take my 458 SOCOM pistol with the binary trigger from Franklin Armory, because I don't just want you guys to die. I want you to die painfully. I want.
Well, then why would you take a big thing that's going to put me down quickly? It'd be like
No.
Shoot 204 Rugers at people.
I'm going to hit you in the shoulder and your arm's just going to fall off. And you're going to be screaming about that. And I'm going to hit you in the leg and your leg's going to fall off. So that, let's see. And it'll be suppressed with a 458 can from Bowers Group. Or a 450 can from Bowers Group. Or actually, it is the 458 Dreadnought. That's what it's going to have. Whatever. I'm just going to have that, a ton of ammo, a ton of medical supplies, plate carrier, and a tomahawk. And I'm saving that one for Aaron.
Okay, who dies first?
Savage. Actually, you know what? No, I take that back. Jeremy dies first, because if we don't take out Jeremy, he's going to kill us all.
Ideally, Jeremy, but I think Savage would just accidentally kill himself.
Yeah, exactly. Send himself a high
It wasn't
point.
like we're killing him. He just
you guys would have me like shot to hell on the ground, and I'd just be like, F you, and then Savage would be like, well, actually, guys, and somebody would just shoot him in the head. I'd be like, Savage died first.
But yeah, we have to like all team up to go against Jeremy first, and then after that, then all bets are off.
I'm running around with a dead man switch.
Doesn't matter. I'm saving the tomahawk for Aaron.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, Tony. What would your loadout be, and who would die first?
Loadout for what? I didn't hear that part.
Oh, a battle royale style game.
Oh, a battle royale style. Okay, I'll go ahead and say it. I'll die eventually because of either, overweight, diabetes, heart attack, police. Something will kill me. And my loadout would be my lightweight AR build because I ain't running far or going far, and I get winded. And probably something just cheese. Oh, now I'm bringing my silver 357 Magnum that I keep putting up on the Instagrams.
That
with
thing
the
is
gold
gorgeous.
trigger.
It really is.
But who dies first, Tony?
Oh, Savage Mosin's going to jam and explode in his face. He's gonna die.
Yes. Jeremy?
So my loadout would be primary weapon would be one of my ARs, probably God's Plaid, maybe.
Oh.
It's 14.5 inch with a silver soldered linear comp on it and a Neotech and a magnifier. Lightweight, Faxon gunner barrel.
I was there when you built it.
Yep. Let's see. I'm going to have a sidearm, obviously. That would probably be my I don't know, one of my 9mm that holds a decent amount of ammo, like any good sidearm. But I'm also going to have a secondary sidearm on my left side that is my full auto Glock pistol, so I can use my own with a 30-round mag, so I can do my own suppressive fire. Actually, You know what? My primary rifle is going to be my full auto M16.
I thought about it. I thought about
Makes
it.
sense.
Yeah, I'm going to have my M16. M16, 9mm sidearm, full auto 9mm, other sidearm, body armor, vest, all that fun. And I'm going to find it, Savage, first.
Tony carries Skittles. Love it. So,
What about you, Nick?
Yep, Nicholas, it's all you.
While you guys were talking, I was thinking about what I would take, but honestly, I don't think it matters because I always have to literally the worst times. So I wouldn't even get a chance. I'd be like crossing a field or something, like trying to run across a road, and I'd be like, oh no. And my body would be like, time to make a injection in your pants. And I'd have to stop and drop a and probably get smoked. But if I was lucky, it would be Savage who was after me, and he'd have some 3D printed gun or some up thing that he tried to gunsmith.
Bub it up horse.
Yeah, so it'd just blow up and kill him, and he'd die first.
3D muzzle brake on his Mosin that was the wrong size.
Yeah, so it would depend on whether he found me or not.
Yeah. Dustin said Jeremy's the only one healthy enough to carry enough ammo to utilize a full auto. So I thought about it at first, and I was like, I'll get a binary trigger because then I've got options. But you.
I mean, wait. why would you not just carry a full auto? Because then you still have options. You just have.
I mean,
But
honestly,
I really want that big caliber, so I can only have 10 rounds per mag.
honestly, I could take this. I could win this game with 5 rounds.
Okay.
Just saying.
You
And a
shoot
knife.
yourself 5 times, and then everybody's like, "Good enough," and they go home.
Yeah. It would no longer be called the Hunger Games.
Nice.
It would be called the "Everybody's
The blood
Pretty All
sugar
Right" games.
Nice. Blood sugar game. Yeah, first obstacle, everybody has to eat a freaking huge Hershey bar.
Here's a chocolate glazed donut.
Yeah,
Well, 3 of you aren't making it.
pretty much.
Wait, what the Aaron, Tony,
minute.
who else?
Was that Aaron, Tony, and then Nick's gonna have.
Okay. Perfect. I was
You know what?
like,
I could just put a bottle of whiskey out in the middle of the road and get 3 of you guys, so I'm not worried. The bait will be taken, I'm sure.
okay,
Well,
that's
it's funny because somebody's like, "Don't say Hunger Games around Tony." I thought that was a horror movie. I didn't even go see it. Who wants to see something like that?
Aaron, you might put the whiskey out. We might fall for the bait, but you'd have an Indy into your leg and die on the side of the road.
I have I'm TCCC certified. I'll be all right.
Aaron will 180 and get DQ'd from the battle royale.
That doesn't even sound like a bad deal, though. You know, like, oh, I gotta go home.
Oh, yeah.
No,
Okay.
when you
I don't have to die.
when you get DQ'd, it's just instant death.
Oh, that sucks. I'm not excited. About that anymore.
We should have made this more more modern, more up to date, more contextual in the world. Be like, if you were going to go into the no-go zone in Portland, what would your loadout be?
Well, first, it's in Seattle, and it's called the, what is it called? The,
Or, yeah, Seattle.
what's it called, Tony? The
Chaz.
autonomous
zone.
Yeah.
All right, so if I'm going in there, I'm bringing my Polymer 80 pistol and a flamethrower. That's all you need.
Wait, isn't that? Don't they have their own security patrolling and stuff? Isn't that place
Yeah.
pretty locked down?
They got
So-
armed guards.
Yeah, so like,
Oh,
why would
wow.
you need a crazy setup then for that? Like, it's probably pretty safe.
That's true.
Well, I'm not a communist, so they're probably going to shoot me.
Are they?
Oh, in
communists?
that case, yeah, I just remember, the commie thing. Yeah, I'm taking my SKS and my CZ75 open
That
carry.
way you look
Yeah,
like you
blend
belong
right in.
Is it the
Blend
special?
right in.
with a fucking beret.
Yeah.
Catholic.
And a face mask.
Is it the special edition CZ that had the little red star and everything on it?
No. I know what you're talking about, but it's actually
Wait,
a
is that the Checkmate?
CZ75. Yeah, no.
No.
They had a version with the star on the side, and I think it was like CCCP with the beginning of the serial numbers.
Nice. Catholic Fundamentalist said,
it was the Soviet model. I forget what they called it, though.
Aaron will win it with 5 rounds because he'll use cheat codes.
Hey, you know, if you're not cheating, you're not trying.
Exactly.
See, I wouldn't even do that. I would just set up with my night vision optic in like a parking garage somewhere, wait for their patrols to come by, drop a few of them, move positions. They're not leaving their little autonomous zone. So just keep skirting the whole god thing.
Jeremy.
Get a good shot down a road, kill 5 or 6 of them, move,
Why?
kill 5 or 6 of them. Eventually, they're going to either
But
stop
why?
playing or leave.
Wait, but I don't.
You can always go DC sniper style too, and just hide out in the trunk.
I don't
There you go.
understand why this is even a question. Like, props to these guys. They're awesome.
They're not.
Except they're communists.
Go read their list of demands. They are the dumbest
Are
people
they?
Yeah,
that have
dude,
ever
they're
lived.
charging $500 to businesses as protection.
Yeah.
That's such a disappointment.
Yeah,
I was like,
you don't
Don't get me
call
wrong,
it protection
I'm
for
all
you.
up for the government thing, but like it's the basis for it is because like if we were like the government, we want like max freedom, like hardcore libertarians over here, they fucking nuke us. They're not going to be like, oh yeah, they're just like, what are they? Oh, they're just playing pretend. Like, what are you doing?
Hold on. Let me read the first few of them. The Seattle Police Department and attached court system are beyond reform. We do not request reform. We demand abolition. We demand that the Seattle Council and the mayor defund and abolish the Seattle Police Department and the attached criminal justice apparatus. This means 100% of funding, including existing pensions for Seattle Police. At an equal level of priority, we also demand that the city disallow the operations of ICE in the city of Seattle. We demand an end to in the transitionary period between now and the dismantlement of the Seattle Police Department, we demand that the use of armed force be banned entirely. No guns, no batons, no riot shields, no chemical weapons, especially against those exercising. I mean, I don't hate that one.
Actually, I agree with him. Get rid of the Seattle Police Department and see how long it takes armed citizens to get tired of their and storm that place and shoot them all.
Dude, we demand reparations for victims of police brutality in the form to be determined. We demand the city of Seattle make the names of officers involved in police brutality a matter of public record. We demand a retrial of all people of color currently serving a prison sentence for violent crime by a jury of their peers in their community.
Well, how much money do they think they have?
Dude.
There's not enough courts, you know what I'm saying?
Let's see, there's 19 demands in the first list. The next one is we demand degentrification of Seattle, starting with rent control, demand restoration of city funding for arts and culture to reestablish. I mean, that one's okay. The once rich local cultural identity of Seattle. Demand free college for everyone in Washington. Demand police be prohibited from performing homeless sweeps. And I also want to point out that the autonomous zone, literally a bunch of homeless people came in and wiped out their entire food supply on the first day.
They invited them in.
Yeah. But
they were trying to do it like, oh, yeah, come on, brothers. Here's some food. They took the and left.
Dude, so good.
They know suckers when they see them.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like either that or like my one of the guys that works for me texted me. Apparently they're listening, and he's like, "Don't forget to mention blue helmets. Don't forget to mention blue helmets."
Oh God!
Y'all see all the UN got peacekeeper?
Oh, that.
You don't want that.
I want to get me. I want it because I want me some blue helmets.
Mm-hmm.
Nick, will you take the next question? That was the first question, by the way.
Sure. Ben Dover says, I think having a dog is pretty much synonymous with owning a gun. I see bunches of people shooting outside with their dogs walking around. It bothers me on two fronts. One, you might shoot the dog. Two, if you're wearing ear pro, then why aren't you making your dog? They have much more sensitive ears. What do you all think about having dogs around when you shoot?
I mean,
all right. Well, I want to address number 2 of this whole statement.
Okay.
Like, dude, I'm not an authoritarian or anything. If my dog doesn't want to wear ear pro, it doesn't have to. I'm not going to force things on. Why force things like that? It's messed up, man. If your dog doesn't want to wear ear pro, don't force it on him. If the dog wants to wear ear pro, it'll find some ear pro and put it on. It's nature's way of figuring things out.
So I guess here's the thing: is like some people do put ear pro on their dogs, but like, dude, hunting with dogs is a thing that's existed for like since guns were invented.
A bunch of them are literally made for it.
Yeah.
My dog was always smart enough to leave when we were shooting. She would just go back to the house.
Well, yeah, I mean, talking about like bird dogs and stuff. Like you shoot the duck, the dog runs out and gets it and brings it back.
Yeah, my dog wears foamies.
Yeah, like I've seen ear pro on dogs. I truly have. But
they make those ones that like strap on over their head.
Yeah, and I've seen dogs wear eye pro as well.
Yeah, those dogs are awesome.
They are
when
cool.
Arcos was rocking eye and ear pro.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I think my favorite though is when you see the dogs in Kevlar that go hog hunting.
Yeah,
The dog has like a Kevlar vest. I'm like, yo,
on the
dude.
throat.
It's
We've done that. My buddy's ranch in Texas. This one dude and his kid would always show up with just like 30 hounds in a pickup truck, and he had like 6 sets of body armor, and he had bloodhounds, cur-hounds, pit bulls, and the bears and the fucking grabbers, and we would literally just go hunting with like a 13-inch Bowie knife.
Yeah,
that's all you had. You didn't shoot it because you might shoot the dog. So
yeah, so you stabbed the hog.
Ran up there, grabbed pigs. You ran up, stabbed the pig, hunt over.
Yeah, we hunted. I mean, my family hunted with dogs down south, so I mean, it's no big deal. It's not like the dog will go deaf. Really, I've never heard a dog go what? What'd you say?
Right, exactly.
No.
If the dog starts complaining, I'll just sign to it. Go get it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I really don't have a problem with it. I'm like, this is a thing that's been forever. The dogs seem to love it, actually.
And as far as like the dog getting shot, control your dog.
Yeah. If your dog gets shot, it's your fault, not his.
If your dog is not well behaved, don't take it to the shooting range or take it hunting because you're going to have a bad time.
Yeah. So I guess I don't have a problem with it. Also, I don't own a dog.
You did.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. Thanks, Nick.
The last time I went shooting with a dog, I really wasn't worried about it having ear pro.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus.
Because he shot the dog.
I'm totally aware of what he was in.
Talking to you, Tony.
What was that?
For listeners in Radio Land.
Oh, okay.
So if Nick ever takes you out with a hamburger and a chocolate milkshake, you know what's up.
I owe Nick a blood debt.
I think my personal favorite thing that sounds really horrible. My favorite thing that came out of that was somebody saying something about but won't a chocolate milkshake be bad for the dog?
Yeah, that was me actually
For about 4 minutes.
Chocolate's bad for dogs. And you're like, then it clicked in my head oh wait, never mind.
What state was I in?
I think it was pure bliss.
I don't know.
I don't remember where I was.
Unhappy one.
I was anyway.
The most awkward part of that was when you got back and you were like, oh, you know what? I forgot I left the dog food in the car. So if you had to go buy some, I'm sorry. And I was like,
about that.
About
that. Where he's going, he doesn't need dog food.
He went to the farm in the sky.
I've had to shoot a few dogs in my life, and I always just lie to the owners. I'm like, oh yeah, no, the dog passed away before I got it home.
Nice.
Aaron, take the next question.
From Jono R. Back on episode 321, y'all told the story of the monsoon range day in Georgia. Sean almost died talking about slamming on the brakes and making Jeremy drool all over himself. Jeremy promised to seek revenge, so just curious, has Jeremy devised an ingenious plot to weaken Sean, strap him to a car seat, get up to 90 miles per hour, and slam on the brakes?
I don't remember this specific story, but I do remember us being in a car somewhere and having to pull over because we were laughing so hard that
we were in Georgia on that corner. I was laughing so hard. Yeah. We were on that curve. You almost crashed the car, so you just slammed on the brakes. But I was laughing. And I went forward, and all the spit in my mouth, just
It was probably enough to fill a big gulp because.
Oh yeah, it was definitely minimum a shot glass.
I heard a splash when it hit the dashboard.
Minimum 64 ounces.
It's vile.
Whenever we end up together, there's always that time. One time it happened when Jeremy was driving on the interstate in Atlanta, and I thought we were going to die. And we had a Charger, and we were laughing so hard that he's like, I'm going to black out. Doing 90.
Yeah, Atlanta was rough, dude. Atlanta. Jeremy's walking. Oh, okay, yeah.
When I threw up in the street?
Throwing up in the street, projectile vomiting like he's freaking possessed.
Dude, I felt so much better. I don't know. That pizza we ate, man, it me up.
It was hilarious because we're walking and he just goes, and we turn around and Jeremy's just like,
I told you I was going to, I'm like, man, I got heartburn like a son of a, I can feel it right in my throat. And I was like, this, why am I trying to hold this down when I don't feel good? All right, I feel better. Let's go. And then we went drinking that night.
We were with Tony, and we were walking up this big hill, so it wasn't good for Tony either.
No, because I was way too close to Jeremy when he freaking started up chucking. I'm like, oh, no.
At least I was nice and put it in the gutter.
So, Jeremy, are you going to get revenge on me? I feel like
no. I never planned. I never thought about getting revenge.
I know
it was just bad timing.
Oh man, I miss traveling with you guys because we laugh so fucking hard that it's the closest I ever come to blacking out. Every time, no matter what, we will be in the car and we'll be laughing so hard that one of us, whoever's driving, is like, I'm gonna black out.
Yeah, this year has kind of sucked.
It really has. We didn't get NRA. What else? TriggerCon's canceled. It's all. Anyway, let's see. Aaron, why don't you take the
NRA carry guard was canceled?
Right.
Again.
Or Aaron, did you just do that one? Yeah, you did. Yeah, carry guard. We've never been to that though.
That's because it's only been out 3 years and they've only had it once. They've canceled it 2 out of 3 times.
Makes sense. Jeremy, take the next one.
Mitch M. I'm getting a P10C or maybe a P10S now that they have an optics ready model, but the base plates are sold out and knowing CZ will take a while to come back in stock for guns with base plates available. How do you feel about aftermarket plates as compared to factory? I trust CZ quality, but I am unsure about aftermarket quality. Thanks.
Mag extension
No,
Base plates?
The plates, the adapter plates for different optics on the slide.
Oh, okay.
Just get an aftermarket. It's like a tiny little sliver of metal.
Yeah, I mean, they can't mess it up any worse than Glock did with the MOS.
Correct.
That's a ringing endorsement there.
Yeah. I'm like, just buy whatever. It's like a little tiny machine piece of metal, and if it sucks, just drill out what you need.
Yeah, and order one from CZ for when it comes in off the back order.
Right. Oh, I mean, that and a lot of aftermarket parts are better than factory OEM parts.
Maybe not with CZ, but...
Well, you never know. Cajun Gunworks makes fantastic.
That's true. What do you think, Nick?
Yeah, I mean, worst case scenario, like Tony said, you get one that is mediocre and it holds you over until you can get a decent one. Or just get a normal P10C and then have the slide cut perfectly for your specific optic. I mean, that's usually the best option.
Yeah, I agree with that. Let's see. Tony, I'm going to have you read the next one here. I'm going to put it up on the screen.
Alexandra the Great, if you could, what mildly annoying curse or trait would you curse people who annoyed you with? Example, inflict a mild but debilitating form of dyslexia on someone so they misread every push and pull sign on every door they go through. One, most people get push and pull wrong on a door anyway, so that wouldn't help.
Let's see.
I have mine. I'm ready for mine.
Go ahead, Aaron.
I would curse my people with taste buds on their buttholes.
That's not mildly infuriating.
That'd be the curse I would hand out to people.
That's not mildly infuriating or just annoying.
Oh, no. It would be for them.
Taste buds on your butthole.
Yep.
That would not affect me at all.
Yeah, you do go to Browntown a lot.
No, what? No, like no one touches my butthole ever.
He stops over at the courthouse a lot.
Yeah,
Wait,
yep.
Right?
It's the flavor in your mouth that you're used to it. Was what I'm saying.
It's so when you would taste it.
Oh,
you would have taste buds on your butthole.
I would just eat nothing but corn.
You're like, it doesn't affect my life at all, and I'm like, what?
Okay, I just wasn't getting it. I guess I wasn't seeing it. I was like,
you eat pieces of shit.
You eat pieces of shit for breakfast?
I guess shoving lollipops up your ass wouldn't be weird then.
No, it'd be like accepted.
Actually,
it would be.
Tony, what annoying curse or trait would you inflict on people?
If they do something annoying like get in the passing lane and don't freaking pass and then don't pull over when you're flashing your lights, that night they have the P dream.
Yeah. Okay.
Anytime you're an a-hole in traffic, that night you have the P dream.
I'd piss my bed every night.
Hey, that's okay.
And during the day sometimes.
Yeah.
Nice.
Exactly. Jeremy, what would you have?
If I had to curse people that I didn't like or that annoyed me with something, it would be throat cancer.
God.
Yeesh.
Okay, that's also not
That
just mildly
escalated
annoying.
quickly.
Yeah, that's pretty tough, actually.
If you annoy me, I wish you have throat cancer.
I never understood that saying, like, I wouldn't even wish that on my worst enemy. My worst enemy? My worst enemy? I wish my worst enemy would watch his children get murdered and raped, and not in that order, in front of them repeatedly for an eternity while they're being tortured.
Wow.
Themselves, and watching their favorite people in the world be tortured in front of them for an eternity, and just like tortured, healed, tortured some more, and then finally, when they're an old man, then kill them in the slowest way possible with, like, you know, the Indian neck.
Jesus, dude! Like, come on. The is wrong with
Sound guru? Calm down, Satan.
I love it though, because Jeremy's broken.
Yeah,
and I just love it.
Oh God.
Like, I never understood, like, my worst enemy. Like, yeah, I hope my worst enemy, all of the ailments of the world.
Mine would be.
It's funny to me because I don't give a bunch of energy to a bunch of. I don't
hate anybody that much.
I'm not giving them energy. I'm just saying, if it's my worst enemy, like, I hope that happens to them.
I only hate one person that much.
I don't hate anyone that much.
Oh, I hate one person that much.
I hate
not even Sean.
communists that much.
You know,
all of them.
You know who she is.
I don't even hate Sean that much.
So,
think of
Like I
anyone
never
hate that much.
man, I hope that dies in a fire. People are like, you shouldn't say that. Be like, I'd kill him myself if I could get away with it. Like, I'm gonna hope he dies. Like,
No,
I
I'm
would
cool with
literally
that.
shoot that person in the face. Like, yeah, me hoping he dies is just my legal way of like.
mine would be every time they smile, Aaron, they would hear Aaron's laugh.
My laugh is awesome.
No, I mean the.
Which one is that?
That one?
Yeah, you got to find it now because I don't know what my laugh sounds like. That one?
There you go.
I don't think that's
Oh,
mine.
well, that would. I mean, if it was the actual Jabba laugh, then I would smile more.
Right?
Every
I'd be
time,
like,
though?
Oh, did you guys
Maybe.
hear that?
After a day, do you know how annoying that would be?
That's true.
Yeah.
After a day, yeah.
I mean, Aaron's wife would never ever hear it
Why?
because you never make her smile.
Oh, I just thought of a new one.
Okay.
One of those curses. Again, this is mildly annoy you, right?
Mhm.
They just get Crazy Train stuck in their head, or just
Okay.
even more annoying songs like Barney, I Love You, or Baby Shark. It just changes.
All right. That would be interesting.
That is a good one.
Actually, that one would be kind of cool, but Baby Shark would be
Actually,
horrible.
I use that to blow songs out of my head. I start thinking of Crazy Train, and it blows those songs right out.
Exactly.
Don't do this, Sean.
Yeah.
Baby shark, baby shark. Mommy shark, mommy shark, mommy shark, mommy shark.
Daddy shark, daddy shark, daddy shark.
That's the dance that I do to Baby Shark, apparently.
Oh, I don't know. I'm blasting Crazy Train through my head right now, so I didn't even.
Wonderful.
I kind of like that song. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the worst song ever.
I wouldn't be like, oh, that's horrible. I can't get it out of my head. I'd be like, yeah, I'm glad it's in my head. I'd be
let's
annoying
see.
people on purpose just to hear it.
So Jeremy, throat cancer, me, laugh. They would hear Aaron's laugh when they smile. Tony did his. Nick, did you do yours?
No. I don't know. That's a tough. I'm still just really disturbed by all the things that Jeremy said.
You're welcome.
I'm like, dear God, don't
Wait a
let me ever mildly annoy Jeremy.
You're not immune to that yet? You're
You know-
not immune to what Jeremy says yet?
Every time I think I am, it just
damn.
gets
Oh.
worse.
I would Dragon Arcadia. I would curse people to get a paper cut every time they touch a piece of paper.
Ooh.
I'm like,
Nice.
that's so many paper cuts.
Yeah, that's pretty brutal.
I was thinking about like yourself every time you orgasm.
No, that'll cut down on the number of times that crap will happen, at least with another person. Let's get a crazy fetish.
I would only be able to do it in the bathtub.
Every time you if it's a blumper.
All right, that's a pretty good one.
Oh, God. I'm glad I only had the alcohol on my tongue at that time.
Oh, man.
I'm going to pass out.
I want to change mine to that one.
Oh, you got to spank it while wearing the pins? Oh, that's the greatest.
You kind of cold. It's kind of cold in adult diaper.
Oh, holy okay. Yeah, okay.
Rubber sex underwear.
She's stopping at CVS. Wife's going to be out of town this weekend. I got to pick up some Depends.
Could you imagine what that gimp suit looks like?
Or smells like, let's be honest.
Nick, did you have one, or are we just moving on?
Oh, wait,
I
Nick,
think we should move on.
Nick, I didn't mean to offend you with this line. I know you have a problem.
No, it's okay.
Nick's like, that's
You know-
that's my life.
Thank God that has never happened to me. I would be lying if I never said it wasn't a concern, though. Like, there have been a couple of times where I was like, oh, God, no. But thankfully,
Yes.
it's never happened.
If you'd like to submit your questions, go to welikeshooting.com/DearWLS. That's just the. Oh, that's terrible. Yeah, welikeshooting.com/DearWLS. And let's talk to Tony.
I'm just thinking about cleanup.
Dude, you would only be able to do anything in the shower.
Waffle stomp.
Yeah.
Your poor shower.
Yeah. I would only drink like milk and butter.
I'd have to pull that hair catcher out of my drain.
Oh God.
Tony Simon, what's going on, man? What have you been up to?
Oh, my wife would be mad as a mother. You clean this effing shower. I'll give a shit. I'll burn this house down before I clean the shower after that.
I have to clean the ceiling in my shower.
I'm on these walls, Ray.
What am I up to? All right. We're giving a rifle away to our Patreons for two. Okay, hold on. Patreons on the 2A4E podcast. We have a page on Patreon. We gave away a rifle last month. We gave away a rifle month before that, and now we're working with High Point and High Tower Armory. High Point is leaving it up to you whether you want a 9mm or a 10mm High Point carbine. The 10 is going to be in Yeti Cryptek. And High Tower Armory, they're the ones that sell the bullpup kit. If you remember, you actually filmed me shooting that down in St. Louis, Sean.
Yeah.
That's the bullpup kit. It's really cool. Hightower says you have a choice between that bullpup kit and a bullpup kit for a 1022 that looks like a P90. So that's going to be the combo prize for $20 and above patrons. One of those going to be picked, and that's what you're going to get.
You're giving away a lot of great stuff.
Yeah, we just did the Boogaloo giveaway, which was a Palmetto State Armory rifle carbine kit, and I'm here for the Boogaloo lower from Double Star.
But that's racist.
Which part?
The Boogaloo.
Okay, cool. So somebody's going to want to race his gun, and I have another lower to give away, and hopefully I can hook up with a couple of more companies. So we have some cool stuff. I got the knife giveaway up there. Companies are helping us out, especially companies who have been with us for years. They're giving us stuff to give away to you guys. So,
and for those that don't know, what's 2A4E?
2A4E is something we put together. It's called The Second is for Everyone Diversity Shoots. They started in February of 2015. I've been holding them every 2 months in Jersey, every other month in Jersey at Gun for Hire Range. I'm working on a PA location this year because of the COVID shutdown. And I also want to get to other states to get people who have never shot a gun before, or from every race, every background, every gender, every sexual orientation. It's time to come out, get to know your Second Amendment rights. That's what we're doing. And we want regular gun owners out there, too, to shoot and also learn about the Second Amendment groups in your area. So we bring the Second Amendment advocacy groups out and introduce you to them. It's a whole thing to grow the community.
Yeah, and the Patreon is definitely awesome. Hey, look, it's me.
Oh, yeah. I have that sticker on my water bottle. I look at it every day.
I have that sticker on the gun safe.
Yeah.
I never got one of those stickers.
When my day
Clover.
is long and slow and difficult, I just look at Tony in the bathtub.
Let's see if we can name the people. That's Clover from Torrent Suppressors.
Sean's
How
like,
crazy is it I'm wearing a shirt with me on it?
that is pretty great.
I have that shirt. I wore it the other day, actually.
Sean's like, let me show you all of the people that I know.
I don't know who that is.
Tig.
That's Eric, Iraq veteran, 88. Chris Chang.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, me and Angel and I and Ursula Williams. And
Ursula's awesome.
why am I in the background
was
of all
fun.
these?
That was funny.
Kurt from Faxon. Go back. Kurt from Faxon, the lady who shot the dude with an AK in a parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know the other one.
That was Hustle Queen. She was there with us, Kara, down in
that's right.
St. Louis.
I remember that. That is Peranto.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Dixie, Maj Teray.
Yep.
You know a lot of cool people.
Yeah, I'm lucky. Over there to the left is Corinne Mosier.
Yeah, I see her and Tyler and Mike.
This is another generation of Second Amendment advocates, husband and wife.
That is Puerto Rican Pistolero and Latina Locked and Loaded.
Yep. Joe and Bro.
Yankee Marshall.
Yep. Yankee has helped me out a lot.
Angel, Mile High Angel.
Mm-hmm.
That is, let's see, that is
Amanda Suffolk.
Amanda Suffolk and Kat
Ainsworth.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
it's right there.
Yep.
It's really in the picture.
Chuck Liddell. So, yeah, Tony, me again. That's cute. Doing a lot of good work, man.
Well, it's people that actually support the work we do. Chuck Liddell would just happen to be at an event at the Antarius Alliance. But people have stepped up, I mean, and just helped or supported what we've done. And it's awesome. I mean, if you think about it, everybody can be an ambassador to the Second Amendment.
Mm-hmm.
And working on it. I had to work on going to different states, but it has to be funded. And that's what the Patreon does. It funds the trips. It funds buying ammo. It funds just all of the things we do. And like Vegas, I wouldn't have gone to Vegas for SHOT Show. But I was actually speaking there. Maz Toure actually invited me as a speaker to an industry panel. So that's what I did.
Yeah.
Yahuda, what's up, man?
What's up, Yehuda Reamer?
Yeah, there are some amazing people in the Second Amendment advocacy game, I guess game or whatever you want to call it, industry. There's some amazing people out there doing some amazing work, and nobody's getting rich from this. But I feel we're building it, and I'm trying to build the next generation of Second Amendment advocate, and also get gun owners to actually get off their butts and become politically active, because you see what happened when you're not.
Yeah, someone said to show you my white supremacy picture, so let me show you that. Reese Jones, Hawaii. So when you see people at far-right protests with igloos and aloha attire, they're ready to fight the Second Civil War. It's all about racism with a picture of me.
Wow, that's the most ridiculous ever.
Yeah.
But I mean,
because actually I purchased a Hawaiian shirt just to do the video for the Boogaloo giveaway.
Nice.
but Hawaiian shirts are dead. It's all about Hawaiian shorts now.
Which Nick is wearing right now.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Hawaiian shorts are where it's at.
That's right.
WLS crew, let's get together and donate a gun. Sure. To what?
To me.
Yeah, dude, they're talking. Delaware says Rob S. Matthew A says we'd love to have you in Lexington, Kentucky.
We're working on going to different places. I'm trying to slide into PA and also do New York State. I had something set up, but then between the COVID and their stupid rules, pretty much it was I can't take a pistol to New York. All I can do is take long guns, and I want to give it enough time to build up. But now we have to find out what the new normal is when we open up gun ranges. How many people can you have in a class? How close can they be?
You know what I did for all this COVID?
Hmm.
Not a thing, because the government doesn't have the authority to tell me what to do.
Sean's
Dude.
pushing that comb over pretty hard.
Well, what annoys me mostly about the COVID and the protection they tell people about, during the Gulf War, I was in nuclear, biological, and chemical unit. They taught us how to deal with biological weapons.
I think you needed some more iodine, bro, because they're swelling up from the radiation.
I'm just saying, your mask does nothing.
True that.
Oh, we were talking about that. All do you see like the clear curtains between like tables at restaurants? This is just so stupid people actually leave their houses.
Yeah.
That's all it's for. I had the health department call me, and I basically yelled at him on the phone for 5 minutes, and I was like, "We're doing everything that we could possibly do. Thank you. Bye." Click.
I'm like, if you think your mask and those cheesy gloves you bought from CVS help, Google MOP level 4, MOPP 4, and see what that looks like. Yeah, that's what we used in the military.
Yeah, but you were dealing with a lot stronger stuff, let's be honest.
A virus is biological, right?
The virus is biological, but you were also dealing with radiological.
No. Well, we actually dealt with stuff in NBC classes that could actually kill you, not something with a 99.9% survival rate.
Exactly.
I don't think it was a 99.9% survival rate, but
it's actually 99.98.
I don't think so.
Oh, God, we're not going to do this again.
Right, I know. Let's just back off on this right now.
Yeah.
Because
So, Tony, where can they find your Patreon and all the good work that 2A4E is doing?
Of course, you could go to 2A4E, just type that in and search in patreon.com, or you can go to diversityshoot.com, and you have the links to everything from our YouTube page to the Patreon, to the GoFundMe, even I think, what's that other thing you can do? PayPal. You can do that also. we're just trying to grow the community, man. If you can help us, great. If you can't, understand. Just share some of the stuff we post. I'm Simon Says Train on Instagram, and I post a lot of the things we do there. And I'm The Second Is for Everyone on Facebook.
Perfect. And what's the minimum amount people can do on Patreon if they wanted to do the minimum to be in the giveaways and stuff?
Again, $10. $10 minimum. We're going to do knife and patch giveaways for that.
Yeah, it's
and what I'm going to do, because I'm not a patch dude, but Jake was good enough to start sending me patches.
nice.
So what I've done is hold on to them, so you'll get patches from last year that nobody can buy.
Ooh, even better.
Yeah, I'm not giving you the current ones. I'm giving the one from the year prior. So
Very nice.
there you go.
All right, real quick, I do want to talk about Bowers Group. I mean, like, have you guys talked to Tom Bowers?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, we're still having the first conversation. He's in my ear right now.
Yes.
It's been going on for 6 years.
Nick, you've talked to him.
Yeah.
I've talked to him. Aaron, have you talked to him?
All the time.
Really?
Yeah, I text him every so often.
Okay,
so
good.
I guess all the time.
Yeah.
Maybe,
Love Tom,
sometimes.
man. Love Tom. Like, that guy knows more about suppressors than anyone I've ever met, actually. Tony, have you ever talked to Tom?
Listened to him on primary and secondary, and just was like, wow, this dude knows everything.
He does, man. He knows everything. He knows everybody. Like, he's been in this game longer than the game existed. And you can tell. Oh, yeah, it's totally COVID. So 458, the Dreadnought 458, that can, last week, Mike, Mr. Guns and Gears, said that it was like one of his absolute favorite cans, like, in existence. And I'm like, what else do you need to be said? Like, it can do just about anything that there is. And, yeah, it's freaking amazing. So go check it out, bowersgroup.com, 458 Dreadnought. They've got a lot of stuff on the secret menu, so call Tom and tell him, this is the gun I want, or the gun I want to use a can on. This is, like, what my purpose is. And he'll tell you the best can on the market. If it's Bowers Group, cool. If it's some other company, he'll tell you that too. And that kind of, like, that behavior right there, like, that was kind of one of the things that sold us on Bowers Group, besides the great cans, but just his willingness and honesty in the suppressor game, which you don't see a whole lot these days. And in fact, with a lot of other suppressor companies that are out there, there's just a lot of nonsense and charade going on. I know Q's been in the news a lot lately, or not the news, but just like on the meme pages, and just for basically being.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Welds and the guy behind it, just like, I don't want to turn this into a bag on him, but if you go look at the meme pages, you'll see some pretty bad. And with Tom, all his bad right out in the open, so you don't even have to worry about that. So Bowers Group, support a great company, support great products, all American made, and we love them. BowersGroup.com. Coupon code is WLS. Saves you money every single time. This is Not Guns.
Not guns, not gear, just the gang. Hashtag not guns.
All right. Aaron, what you got for us?
Hey, Father's Day is coming up. So I thought we'd talk about what we would, if our fathers are still around or whatnot, what would we give our fathers? Or being fathers ourselves, what would we want for Father's Day? I know, Jeremy, for your father, you'd probably get him flowers for the grave.
Probably
Sean,
not.
Sean, is your dad passed away recently, right?
I mean, he's dead to me, but
Oh, he's still alive?
I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, same here. So, I mean, let's just talk about as being fathers, because it's easier, except for Nick. You can talk about your dad. And Tony, I don't know your situation. I just assumed your husband would be the father in the group. What
They're both
kind of
daddies.
Oh, I'm sorry. Giggle. You made a funny.
I did. It was hilarious. Whether you have a sense of humor or not, it's not my fault. Anyhow,
Whatever.
Anyhow, so what do you guys want for Father's Day?
Already got it, actually.
What did you want?
Huh?
What'd you
Four
want?
wheeler?
No, I bought the four-wheeler. The four-wheeler was mine. No, I got I never spent money on like a really good fishing pole and a really good fishing rod. And all the fishing equipment I've ever had in my life was like hand-me-downs and like cheaper stuff. So my wife, we went to Cabela's and I got to pick out a really nice rod and a really nice reel, and that was my Father's Day gift, my early Father's Day gift.
Nice.
That's cool.
That is cool.
And a grill. I got a grill.
Oh, it just keeps adding up.
Jeez.
So I got a 4-wheeler, a grill.
No, I bought the 4-wheeler.
Let's see. I bought myself a 3D printer, a computer to run my VR system. I don't know. Like Father's Day to me was just like always seeing my kids, hanging out with them was like the only gift I ever needed. They always got me cool stuff, but yeah, like I am very tough to shop for because if I want something, I just get it. So for me, it was never about gifts as much. And honestly, like handmade stuff, like handwritten cards, like handmade stuff, that always meant so much to me. But what I would like is an MP5.
All right.
You hear that, kids? Somebody tell my kids. They can afford it. They're fine. They're doing fine. They can totally afford it. But yeah, that's kind of what I want. My dad, he will get a middle finger and I will piss on his grave. Nick, how about you?
Wow. For Father's Day,
Nice segue.
I'm all about the ammo and magazines. If people want to give me
No,
ammo
you're not
and
a father.
magazines,
You don't get anything. You get
I might
nothing.
be. You don't know.
You get nothing. What about your dad?
He's a fur dad. He's got that cat.
Oh, that's true. Okay,
No.
that's fair.
That's the most annoying thing in the world.
And yet you have it.
Yeah, so are kids. Let's
Yeah.
get real.
No, I don't mean the cat. I mean the fur parent thing.
Oh God, yeah.
Um,
Like kill yourself.
yeah.
Really?
For my dad, I ammo and magazines. my dad is like a similar way to Sean, as am I. Like, if there's something that I really want, I usually have something really specific in mind, and I usually will figure out how to get it. So things like ammo and magazines that having tons of is, a good thing. I usually do stuff like that for my dad.
It's pretty nice. Tony?
I really thought about it, and this is something I've wanted since I was a kid. I mean, just because I read about them. A Gucci custom 1911 from one of the makers.
That's
Because it's what, if you grew up in the 70s, 80s reading gun mags, that was the ultimate of the ultimate, right? I mean, that was what they always talked about. It was something like that. So that's one of my bucket list things that I'll never get because I do the diversity shoot. And I'm like, well, would I spend this money on that? Or could I host a year of events with like stress free? So
No doubt. Let's see. Aaron,
Yeah.
did you already
what
do
do I
this?
want for Father's Day?
Yeah. What do you want? What do you want to give your father?
For my dad, nothing. He gets nothing. Same thing he gave me. And for myself, I kind of just want everyone in the house to go to the zoo while I stay home.
You want to be left the alone.
Yeah.
he can poop himself in the shower.
While I taste it with my taste buds in my hole.
That's wonderful.
And has Crazy Train stuck in his head.
Yes. Baby Shart.
I can see his wife pulling down the driveway with all the kids in the car, and all you hear is, all aboard! Come out of the shower.
Dun-dun, dun-dun. Get back in the car, kids.
That is twirling that thing that makes that. Oh God, yeah. Father's Day's tough around here. Jeremy's dad's dead. I wish mine was. Aaron wishes his was.
My father's amazing and very much alive.
Yeah.
Aaron's kids wish their dad was.
Apparently, my kids really like me. I don't know.
Yeah, but we're talking about their dad, not you. Oops.
Oh, you made a joke? That was funny.
It was funny, and your dad passed away a long time ago.
That was Jeremy's dad a long time ago.
No, I'm talking about you. He was one of the 300.
Aaron's dad was actually like a kung fu master or something.
Yeah, he is actually. He's
not a kung fu master. He was Leonidas. I think that's what Tony was getting at.
Yeah, pretty much. Your dad is old, and you're old.
I thought he was trained in kung ju.
Oh wow!
Actually, no, it's jujitsu, but it's really appropriate. That's jujitsu.
Oh Lord, oh, Jesus!
I don't even know what we're doing with our lives. Go check out the Sonoran Desert Institute. So still going strong. Lots of programs and stuff. Like if you just want to learn about an AR, put it in a 1911 together, check ring, or you can get what is it? Associates in Firearms Technology from SDI. Go check them out, sdi.edu. And whether you want a college degree or just to learn a little bit more about the stuff that you use right now, you can find them. Let them know that We Like Shooting sent you. And it's time to talk about the news. And honestly, since we have Tony on the show, Tony's black for people who don't know.
Oh, snap. I am?
Yeah, apparently.
Well, you couldn't tell that just by the way he sounds?
No.
Oh, my God.
Not even a little bit. So, Tony,
Hello, children.
Tony, what the do you think about what's going on in the country right now?
I think it's great because it got me out of a speeding ticket yesterday.
Whoa. I want to hear more.
Man. I was going down the Jersey Turnpike like I was white, so I was speeding. And
oh, whoa.
What? And I got pulled over by a New Jersey state trooper. And I'm like, all right, driver's license, registration, Department of Corrections identification, because I'm playing that card. I was like, hi, officer. Here's my information. And I'm with the Department of Corrections. He looks and he sees the Department of Corrections ID, and he was like, have a nice day. Just pulled you over for speeding. So I started driving into work, and I tell one of my coworkers, and he went, dude, he was going to give you a ticket. And then you let down the window, and he saw you were black. He was like, not today. You're not making me famous.
I'm not going to start a riot.
Yeah, he looks at me and goes, he looks like he's having trouble breathing now. Oh, hell no. You carry your fat ass to work.
Damn.
It's like, you just carry your fat ass to work. You don't have to get out the car. I don't have to run your insurance. Just let the window back up. Have a good day.
That was Tony, not us. We did not say that.
I just have this image of Tony like chasing a cop around his car, and the cop's doing the thing that people do in sports when the ref calls a foul, and they put their hands up, and they're like, "No, I didn't do it." The cop's like,
I'm
"No,
running around
no.
screaming at the cop, "Am I being detained?" And he's like, "Just go away, just go away,
Just leave, man."
Oh, that's terrible, but also amazing. So, yeah, I mean, it's a weird f***ing time in the country, right? Like,
All right, I'll go ahead and say this because I usually save it for my podcast, and some of the same people listen won't or will. Here's my problem with it. We were all on the same page with the COVID thing because pretty much as a nation, we were like, what you're saying is conflicting. What you're saying doesn't make sense, and what you're saying is kind of arbitrary. That Lowe's can be open, but the mom and pop hardware store can't, or it just silly stuff like people that do nails and wear masks and gloves all day can't work. But I'm like, they wear masks and gloves all day anyway. And the nation was finally getting together and going, that's enough. And they were having rallies and they were having protests and they were signing forms going, we need to end this and get back to work. So they continually tried to get us distracted on the racial issue. First, the national media tried to push the thing that happened in Georgia in February onto the front stage with the guy Ahmaud getting chased down and killed. And people went, that's horrible. Those guys should go to jail. Almost as one voice, as a country. We were like, yeah, that's bull. Regardless of why, that's bull. Then Breonna Taylor, I think that's her last name.
yes.
With the no-knock warrant, shooting a woman, and as defensive instructors and firearms instructors, all of us know, if you identified the target and you saw she was unarmed, how do you shoot her 8 times? Or you didn't see her and you just fired blindly and you hit her 8 times. Both of them are no-nos in civilian self-defense. So that's just a no.
I think what happened is they kicked in the door. Her boyfriend, assuming that they were being attacked or whatever, returned fire as he f***ing should. And then in the crossfire, she was shot multiple times and died. But yeah, like,
but again,
it doesn't matter. Like, kick in the door of my apartment where I live, my office here, you're gonna f***ing take lead to the face.
Yeah, in civilian clothes, and supposedly, according to every witness except the PD, they never identified themselves. But again, as a nation, we were like, no, that's wrong because that was an address. That could have been anyone who lived in that house, regardless of race. So that didn't work. So then this horrible thing happened with George Floyd. And pretty much as a nation, we identified and go, that's horrible. That was a cop. And he let this man who was in his custody die. And then they just slowly started tweaking it into a racial thing. and got the divide they were hoping for, along with the frustration of COVID-19 and everything else, government failures, being stuck at home. And there's the frustration of Americans was at a high level, and they got what they wanted. Congratulations. And throw in the instigators that are paid instigators, and then opportunists that show up everywhere. And now you have protests that turns into riots. I see it as don't lose your way. Whether you think all cops are racist or not, all of us want to get rid of bad officers. All of us do. Good cops want to get rid of bad cops. I want to get rid of bad cops. Whether the guys are racist is just a flaming they have to go.
Tony, you work.
But they're making the divide, and they're trying to make it racial. And I'm like, regardless of what it is, get rid of bad cops. Yeah, I have this discussion at work with the people I work with. And yes, I work for the Department of Corrections.
Yeah, you do. And I'm wondering, like, is every cop bad?
Every cop is not bad. And again, I've had this discussion multiple times. The problem is your thin blue line, that blue code, where you go from good cop, bad cop to I'm supporting my brother in blue regardless of what he does. And that's a problem because that's the mentality of way too many. And I'm not even saying the regular guys. They want to get rid of bad cops too. But if you turn on someone, all of a sudden you're a snitch. You can't be trusted. And, of course, the union will get the dirtbag his job back eventually anyway with back pay. So that's a cultural problem that law enforcement has to work on themselves to get rid of dirtbag and change that viewpoint that if you tell on someone that's being dirty, you're a bag. Because in truth, if you think you're a good cop and you know someone's abusing an inmate, beating inmates down, beating prisoners down, doing anything illegal, and you don't tell, you're not a good cop.
Well, and that brings me to the point. So you talk about thin blue line and whatnot. What are you doing, Nick?
Nothing. Don't worry about it.
You're making me nervous.
No, do your thing. Do your little show, Sean.
My little show.
Yeah,
That's
your little
cool.
show.
Oh, all right. So let's put this in something where I can relate to it. So for example,
so if you have 10 cupcakes,
no.
Okay, sorry.
So for example, like Aaron, like I will back Aaron up no matter what.
No matter what.
Aaron f***s up sometimes, and it doesn't matter because Aaron is my friend. Well, he used to be my best friend, but not anymore.
Oh, just because I've been busy.
Yeah.
No, lost that camera in Vegas, but let's continue.
No, it was stolen in Vegas.
No.
We're not going there. We're not going there.
Okay.
But like, I mean, the WLS guys, like any of these guys, like I will literally go to the paint for. Like, if Jeremy says something and the mainstream media picks up on it and they're like this racist, I'm like, dude, if Jeremy goes down in flames, I go down in flames. If Aaron goes down in flames, I go down in flames. Like this whole thing, this whole we like shooting will go down in flames because I will back these guys up to the day I die because they are my guys. They are my people. They are more important to me than 99.99999% of the population in this country and the humans on this earth. So like I get it, right? Like Aaron could be wrong, Jeremy could be wrong, and I will back them to the end because they're my people. And do you think that, like, I mean, thin blue line stuff?
I don't think that's the same thing at all because that thin blue line includes people you don't know. The reason you'll have their back is because more than likely you know their morals, you know how they think. You can't say that for every cop in the nation because there's tens of thousands of them, if not hundreds of thousands, and every cop can't be right. Every cop can't be good because it's an occupation. 10% of every occupation is a dirt bag, and I think because of law enforcement and the things it entails and some of the people it attracts, it may be as high as 20% straight bag.
We had this conversation. We had a conversation earlier in Discord, and I was, we've all heard the saying, "Absolute power corrupts absolutely." Power corrupts, but absolute power corrupts absolutely. And you have a lot of people that get into law enforcement for different reasons. Some are idealists that want to help communities and like that, but then you get the other people. 12 years in, they're burned the out. They're done, but I got to make 20. I got to get my pension. I got to make 20. I got to get my pension. So now you got, I'm going to say, a hefty amount. I'm going to say, I'm not going to give a number, but like you got a bunch of dudes that are like, I just got to get to my retirement. They're burned out. They're fucking has-beens. They're not doing anything. I just got to get my retirement, but they're off the clock. And then you get,
they're ineffective. They're
Right.
ineffective.
And then you have-
support. Yeah.
and then you have this temptation your entire time, 20 years on the force. You have this temptation of, wow, I can get away with this. Like, I know, like I've said, I've known cops that have gotten drunk, wrecked their cars, and their buddies cleaned it up for them. And I mean, literally cleaned up a crime scene.
Yeah.
And they just cover it all up. And they're like, dude, I know for a fact you should have had at least 3 DUIs by now.
Oh.
But you haven't because you only drink in the area where you work. And your buddies, instead of just calling one of your buddies to take your ass home, you got to wreck your and then have them like, and there's got to be like, I know I wouldn't be a good cop. I'd shoot way too many people.
Oh yeah. This is not a job that I was, again, I work for the department. I am not a corrections officer. I'm not an officer of the law at all. Let's get that right. But doing what I do as a firearms instructor and also whatever, I've worked with a lot of cops outside of work and also with work. And yeah, you know what's going on with some of these guys. Some of them straight up great dudes. Some people, I think the majority of people, trying to do their 20 and get out. And then there's the most wonderful human beings in the world is that 10% of cops, regardless of whatever, are there to help people. And like, I'm friends with some of those guys and they're amazing. They do volunteer work. They help kids and they're just trying to make it a better place. But dude, when you throw 20% dirtbag on top of, let's say 50% of people that are just trying to make it through the day and get to retirement, so they shut up about the bad guys. My problem is this: cop does something horrible. You write him up. To fire him takes forever. If you finally fire the dude, then you have to worry about the union getting the guy the job back with back pay and benefits. You don't do stuff to get you fired as a cop in a vacuum. You do stupid all the time. You know what I mean? You do stupid stuff all the time, and sooner or later, somebody gonna make you famous with the stupid you do. And now it's every cop in the nation has to pay and eat whatever stupid thing you did on camera. Every cop in America has to eat it because they tried to fire you, they tried to get rid of you, and the unions got you your job back. And that is part of the culture that needs to change.
Yeah, and then I got a buddy who was a cop that got fired for some
Mm-hmm.
and you're just like, and nobody backed him up. Nobody, and you're like, what the like, this is.
And that's something else that sucks. When you know pieces of don't get caught and don't get fired because it requires too much work. Everybody has to document everything and put it on paper, and they just keep moving the crappy guy around or put him on different shifts. And meanwhile, you got a decent cop that might have gotten caught up in something that could have been a slap on the hand, but they wanted to make an example out of somebody, and they just ran him up the flagpole and let him swing. And that just sucks.
I am very much for protests. I am very much against rioting. Where do you come down?
One is breaking the law and one is exercising the First Amendment right. It's just opportunist. And what they're doing is losing the message and dividing the people. And I think that's why they have paid agitators in that crowd to instigate those riots. And of course, there are always bags that will jump out and go, hey, I'll steal stuff from that store. Well, you're not helping. And you're a criminal. And one of the podcasts I do is civilian self-defense stories, gun stories. And that was this week's episode I'm on. And 2 out of 4 are riots. A jewelry store and a gun store that got broken into, and they actually had to defend themselves. Actually, 3 out of 4.
But if I sit up on a rooftop with a suppressed 22 and just start popping rioters, I'm the bad guy.
Well, no, you probably Israeli special forces because that's what they use the 1022 for. It's just sending rounds in the dude's knees and then pick them up later. But yeah, man, it's like you're still, again, my family had a small business. I mean, what we did in multiple locations. You understand that it's not just us that own the store. It's every employee we had that made a living doing that. It's all of our equipment. It's just, and the people we serviced and the companies we serviced. So, yeah, taking out a store, I don't know what you think you're accomplishing, but all you're doing is putting a lot of people out of jobs.
Yeah.
And then you have to think about this. Oh, well, insurance will cover it. No, I got to think about whether I want to even start this back up again or just take that money and go do something else and screw this town and city. Understand, people can't seem to remember when there's riots in towns, businesses sky out and leave the place, and it takes decades for them to come back.
Yeah. It's a crazy time, man. Where do you think we go from here?
We will, as always, heal. We're not there yet. I think the summer's too hot and the press is having way too much fun making this into something that it's not. But I think through social media, just a lot of people like myself and others, Maz Touré, are just posting up the contradictions and the lies, and they're showing the people with the lies that are being told and pointed out to people and go, we have to get together because this is planned. This is not real. This is not organic. This is a movement afoot. And we will win like we always do. This is not as bad as the riots in the 60s. This is not bad as the LA riot. This is not, you know what I mean? This is not bad as, what was it called, Jeremy? Back in the day, post World War I, the benefit riots?
Oh, yeah.
Where they were actually trying to overthrow the government.
It was the small town in Tennessee?
No. This was actually in Washington, D.C. What it was World War I veterans wanted their benefits early. They were promised benefits, and it was in the middle of the Great Depression.
Oh, yeah, I don't remember that.
Yeah, it's called a benefit army, I think, or something like that. But they wanted to get paid, and there was a bunch of veterans on the mall in Washington, and they were protesting. And what happened is they sicked MacArthur on them, mounted up cavalry, ran through and burned down their huts and everything else. And they were actually had Smedley Butler, and they were actually going to overthrow the government of the United States. And he stepped back and said, no, I'm not doing that. So that's bad. We're nowhere near that.
Tony,
we're nowhere near that. Go.
We've been friends for a long time, like all of us. We've been friends with you for a long time. And I try to examine like everything that goes on in the world, and I try to see it from like every possible viewpoint. We saved your life with the Skittle, and I think Taste the Rainbow is like, honestly, like it's a rallying cry because like, I don't know, man. I don't know how I should feel about anything anymore. I don't know. It's just a weird time. Like, what do you recommend? Like, do you think that people are just racist, like on accident? They don't even realize it. Do you think?
All right. I'll go ahead and say I've only been a black man.
Yes.
That's all I've ever been.
I saw that video. You tucked it. You were a black woman once.
That wasn't me, but that's okay. I don't get into your kinks. You don't get into mine.
That's a huge.
You were watching Norbit, you dirty bastard. No, I don't believe people are any racist. Do I believe there's racism out there? Yeah, hell yes. I'm not that ignorant. Do I believe a system is set up? I think some of the system is based on racism, but some of it is based on just poor versus rich. I really believe it's based on that. The haves versus the have-nots. How's this? It really doesn't make a difference because we all want the same thing. We want a better life for our kids. We want freaking non-corrupt politicians. We don't want government overreach. We want bad cops gone. I mean, we all want the same things. Now, if I believe that the cop that killed George Floyd is a racist and he should be put in jail forever, and you believe he's just a piece of that murdered a man and should be put in jail forever, we both want the same thing. Why does it make any difference whether I believe it's racist or you don't? That's a divide that's artificial that means absolutely nothing. It means absolutely nothing in the long run of achieving our goals. So if we just all stick to the overall goal, we'll be fine. But we have to remember that and realize that the media is pushing the racial divide themselves. That's what they want. That's what they need.
I saw a thing today that said defund mainstream media and solve all the world's problems in a week.
Yep. It really would. Because
agree.
They're telling you what to think. And sadly, a lot of Americans need to be told what to think. They can't figure it out on their own. The ability to critically think is dead.
I have never seen it actually more so than just recently. The whole Boogaloo thing. Like, dude, Hawaiian shirts, like that is all about overthrowing a tyrannical government that's infringing on your Second Amendment rights, your First Amendment rights, all of the amendments and everything that goes in the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. That's what the Hawaiian shirts signify, that Boogaloo, or was it Breaking 2 Electric Boogaloo, or that I've never once until recently seen it be about racism. Now, do racist people co-opt it and maybe some of them wear Hawaiian shirts? Yeah, like just the same way that a racist person can drive a Ford or a Chevy or a Prius. Like
well, they fail to realize how works on the internet.
Right,
It's
exactly.
like, I'm sorry, I didn't know this was your first day on the internet.
Exactly.
Somebody go into a Reddit thread, watch somebody make something funny, and then watch how that fucking thread evolves or devolves, which take your pick.
Yeah.
And you'll see how you started with, it's like a game of phone call, and then it takes on a lot, if it's something that's really funny or a lot of people associate with, you get this naturally occurring thing. And, you can go the whole timeline of Boogaloo all the way from, the first time somebody cracked a joke about American Civil War II, Electric Boogaloo, and then boom, big igloo, big luau, Fed boys are onto us. It's not the Boogaloo anymore, and it's winter, so it's the big igloo.
It's the next Tremors movie.
And it's the big igloo, and we got to wear flannel shirts. That's our uniform, so you know who the other guys are. And then it was summer, so our summer uniform was Hawaiian shirts. Now it's the big luau, and we can't do that. Now it's the next Tremors movie. That was.
Here's what gets me, because I've been in the firearms since I was like 5. That was my thing. Other people got into sports. I was into guns, and I would read anything with a gun in it, including American Survivalist magazine, if you remember that back in the day. And it had a lot of tips and everything from prepping for food to storing everything. I mean, just everything in it. And then it became, militia and survivalists are the same thing, and militia's all racist and survivalists are all racist. And they continually play this game. Preppers are all racist. Anybody who doesn't want the government boot on their neck is racist.
Yeah. And I'm like, honestly, like if that is, dirty cops, and I do not for one second think that all cops are dirty, but I do think that they exist because, like, honestly, on this podcast, there's 5 people and Aaron is dirty. That's just all there is to it. Like that's a 20% ratio right there. But yeah, there's like bad people that do every single thing. That's all there is to it. Why are you shaking your head, Nick?
Dig it, Aaron.
Oh yeah.
That wasn't
He's
a dig. But I also earlier I was like, cool. I will defend him to the end of the earth because it doesn't matter because he's my people. It's the fat blue line.
No, he's your friend.
Yeah,
there's a difference. These cops, and I'm saying these cops, as in the some cops that will do well. That guy's a cop, so he's okay. Pump your brakes, dude. Find out, just like everybody else, what the extenuating circumstances are. You can't just blindly say that. Now, you can understand that citizens who aren't police officers sometimes won't understand what it takes to be a cop. Well, duh, that works in every job. People don't understand what it takes to do that job. But they will make judgment calls on it because it's the frickin' internet, and everybody thinks they need to put their opinion immediately up about a 3-second clip that they saw. And then it just rolls. I like that. That was quick, Aaron. Unlike your reflexes. Unlike your reflexes.
Too many people out there think their opinion is of value. All this black and everyone's lives. No, none of your lives matter. 99% of you I could murder and it wouldn't change the course of history one iota. You're worthless, you're ineffectual, and you don't matter.
Well,
that's it.
This is what I learned.
And you're talking about everybody.
Hosting the diversity shoot. The very first one was held in February 2015, and it was called the Black History Month Diversity Shoot because it was February. People assumed that I was excluding white people because I called it that. Now, nothing else has changed. I'm inviting all people regardless of race, religion, blah, 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 and they were still saying, can white people show up? And I'm like, I don't. So what? When you throw race in, it just instantly divides people. And I think if the movement was called Black Lives Matter 2, it would shut down a lot of shit. But it wasn't. It was called Black Lives Matter, and that gets people, white lives matter or all lives matter. I'm like, how's Black Lives Matter 2? That's all. We're protesting this. Why do black people think they're the victim of police and nobody else is, when statistically you know the numbers are what the numbers are, and there are more white people killed by cops than black people? Because much like the Second Amendment argument, this is about feelings and doesn't have to be about facts. If I feel I'm victimized, just like a bunch of cops, anytime a cop is killed anywhere in America, every cop feels it. They send people from hundreds of miles around to go through the funeral procession with their lights flashing and represent the department. Reason I'm saying this is sometimes as a black man, I feel every time I see a story like this, it's like they killed another brother. Like when this cop pulled me over in Jersey the other day, there's still a little bit of, I don't know whether this dude can take my life right now and everybody will believe whatever comes out of his mouth. But you have to understand, the first time a cop pulled a gun on me, I was 8. Driving through Tennessee, my dad was driving. He was being an ass. I was in the passenger seat. My mom's in the back seat with my little brother, who was 4. And my dad was flying through traffic, and he was passing in the not passing lane. What did the pullover lane?
Mm-hmm.
He was passing stop traffic. He pulled back in. Tennessee state trooper rolled down on us and pulled up beside my dad and pulled his gun out and pointed it at my dad's head as we were going down the road at like 80 miles an hour. And I was like, Dad, the cop is pointing a gun at us. I'm like, what was that going to do? Pull the fucking trigger and kill an entire family to get us to pull over? Like, what was, you pointed a gun, you didn't hit the lights, you pulled up beside us.
Where the your lights and sirens, bro?
Pulled right beside us and pulled a gun out and pointed it at us. This is 1978. Civil rights legislation was signed in 68, bro. We're in Tennessee. My family's born and raised in Virginia. My dad was terrified. My mom was terrified in the back, covered up my brother. My dad pulled over. This dude walked out, aiming a gun at my dad the entire time. Got him out of the car. And his whole thing was, this is what he told my dad. I thought you guys were in the mafia.
What mafia?
Hey, bro. That's what he said.
Jeez.
And I think he gave him I don't know, because I was terrified. I'd never seen my mom so scared. Because, again, born and raised in Virginia, dude, black people disappeared. And sometimes police was responsible. So that's what you grow up with. That does not go away. That didn't happen in someone else's lifetime. That wasn't a piece of history. That was real life. And then you hear the stories about the Klan and some of the cops, sheriff's department from where I'm from, were in the Klan. 1969, they hung a black dude in our hometown because they thought he waved at a white woman. The Klan surrounded his house. His family was in it, and they said they'll either burn down the house or send him out. He left his family because he knew they would live and they would probably hang him. And that's what they did. They hung him. And I got told this story when we drove past the house on the school bus every day. There's his house. You know what I'm saying? This didn't happen 100 years ago. I started school in 1975. That happened 6 years earlier. It's not ancient history. It's living history. I went to school with his kids. Think about this as a man, and you're in your house surrounded by your family, and you know if you stay in the house, they're going to burn it down with you in it, or you're going to go outside and hang. That's what I grew up with. So do I judge all white people based on them? No. But do I understand in both incidences law enforcement was there? Yeah, they were. Yeah, they were. Does that make all law enforcement bad guys? No. But to still have that thing in me sometimes when I get pulled over. Yeah, because that don't go away. That's what you grew up with. Do I think bad cops need to be fired? Yes. Do I believe murdering cops need to be locked up? Yes. We all want the same thing. Regardless of what happened to me in my childhood or you and yours, we want the same thing. I don't care how we get there, as long as we roll up on the same destination. That's it.
Yeah. Powerful. It's good, man.
I was gonna make a joke in there. No, I forgot because it's gone too long.
See, that's why before the show, I was in the middle of a sentence and Jeremy just talked over me. He's like, I wanted my joke to matter.
Exactly. I was like, well, it's too late.
It's too late. Tony's going on way too long, and this is way too deep to double tap.
No, it's not, man. That's why I asked. It's because,
dude. So no, my friends are my friends, regardless of what their occupation is, and I have some wonderful friends that happen to be police officers. Every cop I see, no, I don't think he's a stark, raving racist at all. I'm just saying there's a fear sometimes that pops up that goes, this dude can take my life. And I judge every guy by whatever the heck they do. I mean, it's that simple. I know what I'm feeling is not irrational. It could happen. But it's like, this is a human being just like you are. I need to make this dude feel comfortable because he doesn't know me from a bucket of paint.
Yeah.
So I let down my windows, I let my hands show, and I asked permission to get my wallet, and I'm as professional as I can be to this dude. Why? Because he's another human being. But also, he has a badge and a gun, and you have no idea what the thing he just did was.
Yeah.
He could have come back from murder. He could have come back from an abusive spouse situation where he's just barely hanging on to being a human being because he wanted to punch somebody in cuffs so bad.
Yeah, he's
a piece of
yeah.
And now he has to pull me over. And the last thing I want to do is be that last step to flip this dude out at the end of the day. Because I've seen a cop flip out, which was hilarious. One of the funniest things I ever saw. Because cops, just like everybody, dude, the Marine Corps and police officers are about the same thing with the jacked up sense of humor. Being a locksmith on call 24 hours a day. Got called in for a job. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. My brother and I are in the truck, locksmith truck. Locksmith is written in about 4 foot tall letters on the side of the vehicle.
Oh, you've told us this story before.
Okay. Well, everybody ain't heard it.
Yeah, tell it.
So there's a bunch of cops in the convenience store. There's like 5 squad cars outside, and they're all drinking cigarettes, joking. They all left. One guy had to pick us. He was this dude. He was the bro, Jim bro, jacked, had to pick up his muscle milk. They went outside, and all the cars were running because it's summer. They locked this dude's keys in his car, and all the cops left. My brother and I come out, and the cop is yelling and screaming and kicking the side of his car. And he's calling somebody on the phone going, they locked my keys in the car. Bring the other set of keys. And they're like, I'm going to and he just was off. My brother and I looked at each other. He was parked right beside the locksmith van. I'm like, I ain't helping that crazy white. He was like, me neither. I'm like, he is barely able to speak English right now. He can figure it out on his own. And we just eased out of the parking lot, locksmith written on 3 sides of the van, including the hood. And this son still didn't get a clue. He just slid right out.
Oh, man. It's a crazy time, Tony. I appreciate you doing what you do. I mean, 2A4E, Second Amendment is for everybody. It's like, it's times like these that I'm like, this is the most important that's going on. Like all of us being together, all of us, like, you know.
Do not let these people separate us over a reason why that they're making up. Yeah. They're like, you should be offended. No, one, don't tell me what I should be offended over. I should be offended for seeing Nancy Pelosi in a kente cloth taking a knee.
Oh,
I mean,
man.
You know, I'm like, that's insulting my intelligence. Just like even when Trump does his photo ops, it's like, yo, brah. Yeah.
The Bible in front of the church and the kneeling on the name tape, like, dude,
come on, just stop.
You know what I think is honestly one of the most racist things I've ever seen. Like with like the kente cloth things. They just assume all African culture is the same.
Yeah.
Like, do you know how many tribes? Do you know how many different African cultures and tribes actually exist throughout time? No, yes, I feel bad that most Black Americans don't actually know where they came from.
Yeah. Well, there's a reason for that. But hey, it's just funny to me that they will look at that and go, well, it's African. We should wear it. I'm like, dude, Africa's a continent. It's a continent.
Yeah.
I saw someone from somewhere in Africa today was like, we welcome every Black person in America back, like, to come home. I'm like, Ain't nobody want to go there right now.
Son, no.
Yeah.
I'm from Virginia, not Africa.
Exactly.
And I totally understand and I appreciate it, but unless y'all have Wakanda somewhere, I ain't going. I'm just saying.
Wakanda forever.
Dude, I watched half that movie and went, man, this sucks. I'm out.
See,
sorry.
I liked it. It was fine. It was okay.
Dude, as I watched the car disappear as they were doing a car chase in Korea, and
yes.
I'm like, what? I'm out. My suspension of disbelief actually stopped, and I changed channels.
Yeah. I will say, man, that I've never seen like mainstream media coming after that Boogaloo thing. Like the Hawaiian dude, the Hawaiian professor came out with his 13 tweets, and immediately, ever since then, I've been seeing all over the media. It's never proved to me more that the media is the enemy. They're like going after this. They're trying to turn something that's actually pretty awesome and American and profound into something that's racist, and it's just not. Like, it is not. Like,
well, what happens in social media is it's making them fail miserably because you have black people along on these marches with them, marching in solidarity, or black people in Hawaiian shirts. So it's easy. Anytime they leave comments open, people post pictures and go, oh, yeah, you're full of
yeah.
So they've stopped putting comments, allowing you to leave comments on a lot of these pages.
Yeah.
I don't see it as being like some amazing, profound thing. It's stupid is what it is.
It is.
The way they attack. It's not like
getting back to, rugged individualism. I will take care of
Hawaiian shirt.
It's the idea behind it.
I don't think it was. I think it was just a bunch of people goofing around, and then suddenly it became like.
And then it evolved into something else.
But it's the media trying to push that narrative. And I will say that.
Well, it seems like on the flip side, we're pushing a narrative that it's rugged individualism. It's independence. But it's just a shirt.
Well, no, it's not just a shirt, but I understand what you're talking about. It was just a shirt. And now it's become, because of everybody else's agenda, this thing. And it's still just an effing shirt.
Right. But I think the only reason why everyone's so pushed back on it is because it was pushed at them. So, like, we're going to push back twice as hard.
But it's still just a shirt.
Right. It's just a shirt. It's not anything amazing.
But the attitude and the rugged individualism and the fact that pretty much you want the government to step back and not be involved in every aspect of your life is the thought process and the attitude.
Right, but it's just a shirt. It's like the pink hats. They're just hats.
I have a question though. If Sean does boog, does that make him a booger?
I'm not going to boog.
I'll be here all night.
It does,
wow.
actually.
How old is your kid that you just started making dad jokes recently?
Oh, no. All the time, dude. All the time.
Oh, my God. That was hard. That was straight dad jokish.
Oh, yeah. And I was
like, your kid should be like 10 now. Like that.
My child is 14 months.
Dude, Jeremy.
But he's the size of a regular 10-year-old.
She's real tall.
Jeremy, I straight up.
In October.
You had a girl?
Yeah.
I got two. I got another girl on the way.
What the?
I got another daughter due in October.
Jeremy.
Oh, dude, it is the Marine Corps freaking player jinx. The dude that ran around.
Yeah, it's the universe punishing me for being a Marine Corps.
Jeremy, I am straight up. I have literally been thinking about going to Ohio for 4th of July, like nonstop.
For his 4th of July party?
Well, so last year, Jeremy was like, "You guys should come to my party," and literally the next day,
last year, or the year before.
Yeah, I don't remember. Like
it was last year because we didn't really have any of the house built up.
Yeah,
but we had just moved up front.
The next day, Nick and I showed up on a plane, and I've been thinking about
plane tickets were only like $75, man.
Dude, I've been thinking about it like nonstop. I was like, I should go to Ohio for the 4th of July. We can all go. It'll be fun. I mean, Jeremy will be fine. Like Yvonne will be fine. It's no problem.
I wouldn't even tell her you're showing up. You just show up.
Okay, good. Tell her, and then if we do, it'll be cool.
That's just funny. These savages just showing up at your house like...
Oh, dude, we did.
Straight up did it, too.
Yeah, we straight up did. Just showed up. And
that's just funny.
It was f***ing awesome. We got hammered by the lake. I passed out in an empty bedroom. Yeah.
And there was a bed?
Yeah, there was a bed. I had a bed.
There was a bed that you could use.
Oh, man, she has tamed him. He has furniture now.
Oh, yeah.
In rooms he doesn't even sleep in.
We got her bed in like our bed, so my old bed's in the guest room.
It is hilarious, though, going from single to married.
Well, and I went from single to married in my 30s when me and her had entire lives, like, well, we
I got
both
married
have a house full of like, what do we, now that we're living in the same house, like, where the do we put all this
I got married. What was I? 30. My wife and I got together when I was 33.
Yeah, I was
It's like-
34, I think.
And we got married when I was 38. So it's like, Jesus, dude.
It's crazy,
I'm
man.
grown.
I know.
I'm grown.
I know.
Yeah, well, you're grown, that's sure.
Oh, that's funny. You sleaze stack. Anyway,
We're going to wrap this up, man.
yeah, let's get out of here.
We're going to wrap it up.
Like the meat popsicle.
I got a 4 o'clock wake up.
Oh, God. Yeah. All right. So, Tony, where can people find your Patreon, 2A4E,
All right,
all
on
the stuff you do.
patreon.com, 2A4E podcast, easy enough to find. But everything, all of my contact information is on diversityshoot.com, including my, of course, email address, tony@diversityshoot.com. I'm also on Simon Says Train on Instagram and Facebook, and the second is for everyone on Facebook. Reach out to me. Glad to help. When is Jersey opening up? As soon as they do, as soon as I get word, I can find out when the next diversity shoots are going to be, and it's all going to be on my social media and my .com, diversityshoot.com.
Love it, man. Thank you so much for being here and for sharing with us. I truly appreciate it, and glad you're doing well, man.
All right. Yeah, thanks, man. Love being on the show. Miss you guys because so many things were canceled this year, and we only hung out, a few minutes at the Brown Owls party?
Yeah, it was. It's crazy. It's crazy because normally we see each other like 15 times a year, so it's pretty nuts.
So it was like Brown Owls party, green room. That's it. Done.
Exactly. All right, guys, go check out Patriot Patch Company, patriotpatch.co. They're sending Tony patches for 2A4E. They are awesome, and the Patch of the Month Club is absolutely without question worth the money. Coupon code is WLS10, saves you 10% off all day, every day. Go check out Tony at the diversityshoot.com. Also 2A4E. Also the Gun and Gear Review podcast on the Firearms Radio Network. Tony's everywhere, man. He's like everywhere.
I try.
Join a gun-related advocacy group such as Second Amendment Foundation, Firearms Policy Coalition, Gun Owners of America. Those are 3 that I can recommend right this second without hesitation. FPC, kind of impressing me. Matt LaRosier, Adam Kraut, all that good stuff. Great people doing great things for the gun community. Also, we give out the suicide prevention line, and seriously, more than ever, like, it's f***ing important right now. Oh, Nick, I'm sorry. More than anything, it is important. If you are feeling down, whatever it is, call 1-800-273-8255, 1-800-273-TALK. But, I mean, if you don't want to talk, like, I get it. I f***ing hate talking on the phone. I would rather kill myself than talk on the phone.
Whoa.
But you can always...
Wait a second. This is a suicide hotline. You can't be saying that.
But you can text 741-741. So that makes it easier and better. And I think that's a good thing. So literally, like, guys, we'll get better. I promise. Eventually. Like,
I get to kill Kami.
Just lost a friend of mine in December to suicide. People were asking him what was wrong, what's going on. Please talk to us. Please talk to us. And he was like, what's going on right now? Talking's not going to help. Yes, it will. Talk to somebody. Do not leave people behind because you thought your problem was insurmountable, because it is not.
We've had a lot of listeners reach out to us throughout the years, and I've talked to many of them myself. I know our listeners have talked to each other. The cult is a very good place to be. And, like, we've lost a few people to suicide, and it's just, it doesn't make sense. Like, we'll get better, I promise. 741-741 is the number you can text. And that'll do it for us tonight. So we're here live every week, Mondays and Wednesdays. Whether riots, coronavirus, it doesn't matter. We're here, but we're on demand every day in your podcast apps, whatever it is. You can find all the places we're at welikeshooting.com/show. And as we always say, thanks for listening. Get some medical training, and chickens are the best. Chickens. Nick?
Crazy train.
Oh, do that again, Nick. That's good. That's real good. All right. So for the titles, I wrote down Calm Down Satan, Fecal Injection in Your Pants, Wilhelm, or Taste the Rainbow.
They're all blumpers.
Dude, that was, oh my God, I almost spit across the room.
So what do you guys think? Which one? Blumpers? Taste the rainbow.
Oh, that's just rude, but that's funny.
Aaron, you pick.
Let's go with what was the second option?
Taste the rainbow.
What was the first one?
Wilhelm.
Wait, I thought you had one before that.
Oh, I have Calm Down Satan, Wilhelm,
Yeah.
Fecal Injection in Your Pants, Taste the Rainbow, or Blumpers.
I'm a big fan of Calm Down Satan.
That was a good one, dude. That was funny line.
It was. All right, that'll do.
Oh, there's an attorney on Facebook.
Did you think that show was worth $1? Help the cast by visiting lovewls.com.